Hello, Mr. Bumi. Okay, Mr. Henry, I don't know what's your take on this about the Haddock staff. What do you feel today about them? Do you feel they are fully committed?
You see, I believe every worker deserves his pay. That's a fact. And what actually motivates anyone to do a particular job is when you are well remunerated. And if these adult staffs are not well remunerated, then we continue to ask ourselves a fundamental question. Are they going to discharge the job? Are they going to do the job? Will other political parties not use that as opportunity to influence the outcome of the election? Because now that we now heard that these people are not paid or probably are not well paid, I think it is a signal sent to political parties, uh, you know, people, personnel who are trying to truncate the result of this election. So I think there's an opportunity for them to actually influence these people, pay them, because of course, when I was serving NYC, we've had this issue where you have some politicians coming with brown envelope, giving it to other staff in order for them to influence and to actually carry out this electoral malpractice. So I think that every worker deserves a pay. And if INEC is now telling us at this particular time that money was just released 2 days to an election, I don't want to buy that. I don't want to buy that at all because the beavers, the preparation for all of this is running into billions of naira. So the question is, we didn't use beavers in the last election, and this election now, we don't know if we are still going to make use of the beavers. So the money allocated for these beavers, how far about it? How did it go? You see, these are questions we need to ask ourselves. So INEC has no justification. INEC has nothing to say as regards workers are not well because INEC, you know, INEC is well funded as far as I'm concerned. INEC is well funded this election. So saying that they have no cash to pay them, I think it is an eyesore and it's a slap on the part of the integrity of this election. And that is what we are saying. People, design, prepare to carry out election in the country who are supposed to be, play a neutral role, are not supposed to be influenced. At the end of the day, they go to the polling unit, give these people money, tell them what to do, and they will do it. So if INEC is coming to tell us now that there is no money and staffs are also, leaving the office, going to their polling stations without pay, then the question is, what do they have in mind? What do they want to do? Have they been promised that after the election, this is what they want to pay them? You see, my friend, I don't think we need to discuss that, whether they are not well paid. I don't think it's something worthy of discourse because it's just a reflection of a failed state.
Okay, Mr. Henry, in respect to the question I just said, please, I don't know. I want your view concerning the voters intimidation in Lagos presently, and why the Inec officials and the Nigerian police has failed to curb these excesses. This that will directly impact what's called turnout, people's turnout in various polling units, and this will not translate to what credible democracy is all about in Nigeria. Please, Mr. Henry, please, what do you feel can be done to curb these excesses actually?
You see, until when the government take it seriously to punish uh, electoral offenders, until when the government sees it as a point of duty to punish those who violate the rules of engagement, we shouldn't expect, a stop of political victimization and also intimidation. Because people now have this mentality that whatever they do during the election, they go scot-free. And there is no, no court case, no prosecution of those who are alleged to have truncated the process. So until we have a system, we have a system that says that, okay, after the electoral process, what are the things we need to look at? What are those who actually violate the laws? What are we supposed to do to them? Take them to court, if and court, gives its judgment. So until when we have something like this, you see, because when we begin to have things like this in our society, then it passes a message to those who have the intention to truncate the system that, oh, after the election, this is what will happen to me, this is what will happen to me. But what we have seen over the years is that people come out, publicly to deliver hate speech. People come out, publicly to say that they will truncate the system without fear that, oh, I'll be apprehended. So until we have a good, working system whereby electoral offenders are prosecuted and are sent to jail, I think we shouldn't be talking of stopping the political intimidation and victimization. And when we talk about political victimization and intimidation, it's not peculiar to a particular political party. It's of the various parties, APC, PDP, Labour Party, of course, these three major political parties, as far as Nigeria is concerned now. So all of these parties also are engaged in, all of these harassment, and so on and so forth. But I just feel that in Lagos now, like you've just said, that there was a report now that some persons, the Igbos, are actually, intimidated. I don't want to subscribe to that fact, because when we continue to say things like this, what we are trying to fan, we're fanning, tribal tension, tribal war. As far as we are Nigerians, we all have equal rights. Whether you are an Igbo, whether you are a Yoruba person, whether you are an Hausa person, we all have, equal rights. But I think what's, from what I've been reading on Facebook, before this election, the Yorubas are claiming that they own Lagos, or sorry, don't let me use the word claim. Saying that this is their land, and you have the Igbo saying that probably the land does not belong to, it belongs to everybody. I think these are some of the sources of these political tension. We shouldn't be allowed, because we are all child of history, and we should understand what geography is actually talking about. When you have the indigenous settlers, particular place, I think we should give them some element of respect. Whether we like it or not, the Yoruba people still happens to be the host of whatever tribe we have in Lagos State. And I think the Yoruba people are very accommodating, and for Igbos to have stayed in Lagos for donkey years now without any tension, without any war. But each time we have election, we normally go back to our tribe. That is where we remember that you are an Igbo man and a Yoruba person. So I think we shouldn't, amplify this issue of victimization of a particular tribe. I don't think we need that for now. But if we are saying that, oh, some Nigerians were intimidated, I want to buy that idea. But we, trying to say that a particular tribe, I don't think is healthy for the nation as we speak. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you very much. Let me quickly say that a particular tribe is not sidelined as far as Nigeria is concerned. No tribe is sidelined. This is a democracy which has to do with majority. This is government of majority. So I don't want to subscribe to that. That the Igbos are sidelined as far as Nigeria is concerned. And if you look at the Igbo people, the Igbo tribe is a wonderful tribe, whether we like it or not. Economically, politically, they are there. And of course, that takes us to when we got our independence in 1960. And of course, we can also see the role played by Nnamdi Azikiwe, when it comes to the making of this country. So these are persons who have contributed immensely to the development of this country. But what I think the Igbos don't understand is that, you see, you can't play politics in isolation. You can't play politics in isolation and expect results. No. Politics is all about alliance. Politics is alliance. Politics is not about believing in your own strength, believing in what you can do. No. It's all about alliance. Calculations. When you calculate, okay, fine, in this election now, okay, who can I go in alliance with? The Yorubas would have been a very good, strong ally to the Igbo people when it comes to, election as far as Nigeria is concerned. But we've always had this issue whenever election is coming up. We have the Igbos and Yorubas always at loggerheads, attacking one another. This one calling this one slaves to the Hausa, this one calling this one. You see, I don't think that will help us at all. It will never help us. I think what the Igbos should understand is that politics is about alliance. Who can I form alliance with? If you look at the 2023 presidential election, look at PDP. PDP was divided into three. You have the G5, you have the Kwakwanso, you have the Labour Party, and of course Atiku himself.
Correct.
And there was a time like that. There was this idea of forming alliance with PDP. Kwankwaso was also nursing the idea of going to alliance with Labour Party. An alliance with Labour Party alliance between Kwankwaso and Obi would have given Obi, a very good figure, an edge over other, contestants in that election. But there was no alliance. There was no alliance. Obi believed in the youth, that the youth can actually take him there, and the power of social media as well. And whether we like it or not, we cannot overemphasize the role played by social media in this 2023 presidential election. And of course, in fact, Labour Party has actually opened our eyes. I would like to that it has opened everybody's eyes that there's nothing called structure. There's nothing called structure. The structure is the people. In as much as you have the people, then you surely win an election. So it was an eye opener. And I think that actually truncated the chances of Obi to become the president of Nigeria. So Obi didn't do it math very well in terms of alliance. You see, relying solely on the youth. Fine, relying on the youth is also important. Is also good. But he needs to make an alliance, political alliance. The 2015 election, APC didn't win that election, under the umbrella of APC alone. There was an alliance between, the CPC, the AC, and the what's all this Buhari's political, party as well. So there was this alliance in order to take PDP out of the seats, taking PDP, because winning PDP in that 2015 election is not easy. It must come via alliance, which Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the president-elect, was very an apostle of that. Oh, before we can win these people, we must form an alliance, and alliance, actually yielded what they actually expected. So that is the exact thing I was expecting Labour Party to do in this election. And if you look at this election, whether we like it or not, I've told some of my friends that, look, This election is going to be based on regional base. It's going to be based on tribal election, whether we like it or not. We look at the three major tribes: Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba. Yoruba, Bola Ahmed Tinubu is coming from the southwest. Um, Peter Obi is coming from the southeast. Um, Atiku is coming from the north. So I have told people that this election is going to be based on tribe. You see, only you see, because if you look at that election, in the Yoruba party, people began to talk about Mowani, Awalokon, this and that.
Hello.
And when you look at the Igbos are also believing that it is also their turn. I'm not saying that it is not the Igbos' turn to become the president. In fact, I wish I'm alive to see an Igbo president as far as Nigeria is concerned. And I'm not against them or probably trying to say that Igbo can never be the president of this country. And some persons are believing that because of the civil war, Igbo can never be the president of Nigeria. No, that's a very wrong notion. Igbo can become the president of this country if they have the right alliance, the right calculations, because politics is calculation, whether you like it or not. Alliance. So that is to let you know that the Igbos are not isolated in terms of the politicking. They are not isolated. But what the Igbos need to do is to come out from that shell of isolation, of playing the political isolation, that they can do it all alone. You can't. You can't be an enemy of A, an enemy of B, and you are all alone and saying you want to win. No. Nigeria is made up of different tribes and three major tribes. And if you want to become the president of this country, you must at least have an alliance with one particular tribe. The North knows that it is the turn of the South to become the president of Nigeria. That was why Atiku didn't get enough support, from the Arewa, forum, because they believe that it is the turn, it is the Southwest turn. And coming to the South now, we have the Igbos there, and we have the Yorubas there. You see, I believe, and for Igbos and Yorubas to continue to live in harmony, I think we just need to stop this idea of shunting, the idea of tribal attack, the idea of you are slaves, you are this, Lagos is no man's land. I think that statement actually, gets so many people upset. That Lagos is no man's land. You see, statement like that is inciting. And I think what we need to do is to come together, work together as one. I love Igbo people. Virtually all my friends are Igbo people, and I love them so well. And you thinking that a particular tribe is sidelined, I don't think it's okay.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Henry. Thank you. Now, there's an incident report again coming up from Lagos. I was told that a police officer shot a political thug who was trying to steal the ballot boxes and preventing people from exercising their civil responsibility. I think coming from Lagos, the issue of political violence is still very much a part of the system. And despite the security features put on ground, I think it's still recurring. You remember during the presidential election, then all these thugs they go they went to a particular polling unit station and they snatch the ballot box, destroy the place, and make it unsafe for people to cast their vote. And now again, now a thug has been shot again. So what do you think can be done, especially looking at this thuggery issue of political thugs in Lagos trying to cause sin and chaos and prevent people from exercising their civic responsibility generally?
I think for us to cover the issue of thuggery during election, the adoption we should adopt the e-voting holistically. You know, if you are voting from the comfort of your home, if you are voting from the comfort of your home, no thug will come and disrupt the process. I think for us to actually cop all these electoral menace, we need to holistically adopt the e-voting. Yes, let's decide. Are we actually are we actually adopting technology for elections, and let's use it from A to Z. Not, it should not be partial. Because I just look at it, the investment in terms of security, in terms of personnel that we put in place. It does not work it. When we can do the e-voting, I can vote from the comfort of we are communicating. We are not gathering physically, and we are communicating. We are adding values. This can actually be done. So by the time we adopt e-voting holistically, I think it will stop criminalities in election. Then we'll be having issue with we will need to now put in place cyber security measures. That is my take on this.
Okay, Mr. Henry, please, can you tell us what you feel on this?
I think, like I've said before, that when there are penalties for electoral offenders, it
Yes.
should not encourage anyone to go via, or think of snatching the ballot box. Like you said, a talk was shot while trying to snatch the ballot box. For me, I think I owe no apology. I think if we have things like that happening in the country, people understand that no, I don't need to do this. Oh, I don't need to do that. But when people do things and it goes scot-free and there's no punishment for that, it is a big problem. So when things like that happens, it tries to correct the abnormalities in the society. That is my own view about that. That alone will correct subsequent actions. So if we had, if we've been having things like this before, and I think it will help us. Then the issue of thuggery in the electoral process, I think the preferred solution to this is e-voting. I don't need to go outside to go cast my vote. If I can be indoor, cast my vote right inside my room. Nobody's coming to victimize me. Nobody's coming to intimidate me. If I can cast my vote via a code, everybody has its own BVN, and that can also be incorporated, to prevent multiple voting. So if you look at some of these things, you will discover that the government knows what they need to do, but they are just trying to shy away from it. CBN have our numbers. The NIMC also have our numbers. Whenever they want to send us information about about happenings in the society, they give us information. They try to update us. But when it comes to e-voting, reverse is the case. So I think the government is still playing with reality. They know what they are doing. I think that's my own conclusion towards that.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Henry. Mr. Bumi, I want to thank you again so much for your input. They are very much valuable. Well, for my take on e-voting, actually, Nigeria, our as our development index, I would say, is a bit low now, and I'm not sure maybe in the nearest future it will be able to accommodate e-voting, but it will be a welcome development if we can actually go for it.